Old Farts exclusive. Alright, so this is a little free play tutorial with dribbling. I'm going to show you how I would go about practicing controlling the ball, some dribbling, some flicks, that kind of stuff. And I think this is probably geared more towards like intermediate level players who, can already keep the ball in their car, do some basic flicks. But I think if you're just starting out, it might be helpful too. I don't know. And if you're already really good at dribbling, maybe there's a drill or two in here that you find helpful, but who knows. So before I even go to the ball, first thing I would do in free play is to turn off unlimited boost and just start cruising around, practicing good, clean movement. Grab some small pads, same drill but with ball cam on. And I find that this just really helps me not like fuck up with a double jump, those accidental double jumps that take you out of the play. These used to happen to me a lot. I wouldn't even touch the ball for this drill. And I'm practicing using wave dashes in my dribble, so I might practice some wave dashes here. Just basically move around. Everything feels really weird because I'm recording too, so I'm probably going to mess up a bunch of stuff in this tutorial. It's fine. So do that for like a minute. It doesn't have to be a while. And then first thing I would do to warm up is to just get under the ball and try to use very little to no boost here and just kind of learn the hitbox of your car, right? So the back of the octane slows it down. I don't know how dominus works. I mean, it's the same. I think the back slows it down, front speeds it up. So for this low boost drill, you're kind of keeping the ball in the back, towards the back of the car. This teaches you how to match the speed of the ball, teaches you, again, what parts of your car do what to the ball. And it's just generally really good for consistency with keeping the ball on the top of your car. I'm doing this all in free play, by the way, just so console players can have stuff to practice too, and it's not just like Dribble Workshop. I think the Dribble Workshop map is good for practicing keeping the ball in your car, but once you get really good at it, even just like the first 15 levels or so, I think it starts to lose a lot of value. I think where a lot of people go wrong is they overuse that map to practice dribbling and don't practice the other parts of dribbling. It doesn't teach you, right? Because in a game, the ball's never just like dead stop in the middle like it is on that map. So after you've done that low boost dribble, I would do the same thing, but now start to incorporate some flips. Oh shit. You could use a little boost to catch up to it again. Same thing, you're just, using different parts of your hitbox. This starts to get a little more difficult. But this is really good for practicing consistency and just matching the speed of the ball again, all this stuff. It's like, you would never do this in a game. Well, I don't know, maybe when you have low boost, sometimes this backflip flick in 1v1s is really, really useful. Because you can just totally beat someone who dives in for a challenge. But this does just get you more consistent with controlling the ball and with not missing flicks. So if you find yourself like just missing the ball a lot, this kind of drill could be really helpful, I think. Anyways, you could make this as hard as you want, right? You could like start integrating like wave dashes, like a half flip, fake jump at it, control. How the fuck? Yeah, there's a lot you can do with that drill, the low boost dribble. I think it's super helpful. It was super helpful for me to get more consistent. Alright, so then at that point, I might practice just like hitting the ball around and trying to get a good first touch. Just like hit it off the sidewall, let it bounce once maybe, and then control. And now I'm practicing flicks, and the most basic flicks can be really good still. Like, you don't have to do like a reverse 45-degree flick every time you want to fucking shoot on target. Also, sorry if I'm swearing, I can edit that out. I guess people are old and have kids and stuff. But yeah, like I was saying, the basic flicks can still be really, really good. It's all about just like getting to the point where you can consistently generate a lot of power on your flicks, and the way you determine what flick to use is based on where the ball is near your car. So if it's on the back of the car, you're not going to be, like if the ball is towards the back of your car, you can't front flip. You can't diagonal flip, right? Like if we set this up again, I can't do like a 45-degree flick when it's on the back of my car because it's just leaving me in the dust here. So when the ball's on the back of your car, you're going to do like those big pop flicks that I was showing you earlier. When the ball's towards the front of your car, you can start using like front flips and diagonal flips and 45-degree flips. And I think the sweet spot for Octane is like roughly on the windshield, Octane and Fennec. I'm not really sure where it is on Dominus. But yeah, you want to find that sweet spot where you're able to consistently generate like a bunch of power in your flicks. Because those fast flicks, they're basically just like ground shots, right? They put your opponent under a ton of pressure. A lot of people don't know shadow defense, so you might just get goals right off the bat with them. You might have someone who can save them, but save them poorly, and then your teammate can follow up, or in ones you follow up yourself. They basically just put the opponent on the back foot. So even if they get the save, you can steal a boost, and you know, being able to just generate like that's a horrible flick, but it would still mess people up a lot of the time, right? Just because it's like a fast ball, they don't know what to do with it. And what I'm doing here with Bacchus mod, putting the ball on top of the car, I wouldn't recommend doing that too much if you're still like not good at controlling the ball. I would refrain from doing that. And mostly just practice those catches like I was showing you where you bang the ball around. Sorry, this is kind of all over the place and rambling, but this is how we're doing it. Yeah, so consistency with dribbling is huge. And the reason it's such a good mechanic to practice, or set of mechanics to practice, is because they can be so much more consistent than aerial stuff, especially for me, at least. It's pretty easy to control the ball and flick the ball compared to like getting a perfect first touch into an air dribble, into a flip reset, whatever. And you can do it on very low boost, which is another huge benefit, right? So like if I just... Hello? Wait, I just changed the wrong setting. Not game speed. Current game. Custom training. Oh, I think it's just glitched because of Bacchus mod. If I reset it, yeah. There we go. So if I like waste a bunch of boost here, you can dribble with, you know, whatever. Oh, I'm picking up pads, fuck. Fuck. What was that? Yeah. Low boost, you can still make a flick happen. So let's see, like 25 boost here. You can still generate a shot that's really hard to save. Which is not true of jumping off the wall. If you jump off the wall with 26 boost, go for a flip reset, like good luck. Unless you're really good. That's just one of the many benefits. The recoveries are way smoother off ground attacks, right? It's like I'm immediately on the ground. I can do whatever I want. Whereas if you're doing aerial stuff, you're just floating through the air forever. If it doesn't go in, you're kind of leaving your teammate in a bad spot. Or leaving your net open in ones. So yeah, dribbling can be consistent, but it does take work to get to that point. And it's work that's very much worth putting in, I think. So yeah, let me show you some more drills. Oh, actually, before we go into more drills, I would just say like a word about getting really good at one flick. Instead of, you know, like once you're comfortable with all the flicks, all the basic flicks like front flips, diagonal flips, side flips, which I'm not gonna have enough time to like cover each one in a video, but I'll just say that once you're really good at those fundamental ones, and you can do them from both sides, that's also important. Right, so you can do them on the left side, you can do them on the right side. You want to pick one flick and get really good at it. Like for me, 45-degree flicks are my jam. I really like them, and I find I can score pretty consistently with them. Especially like as you get closer to net, they just generate so much power that yeah, they just lead to a lot of goals for me. So I use them a lot. So getting like one flick that you're really consistent with, that you're really good at generating like an unsavable shot, is a good idea, because you can just abuse that mechanic in game. And the speed of your car is really important too with flicks. I find like a lot of times when I'm coaching players or I'm watching lower level players play ones, they tend to take things too fast. Because like when you're going supersonic, if I speed this up, 1 sec. I have to break some muscle memory here. Just like keep it on the front of your car, speed it up. If you're going supersonic, you kind of just can't do anything with the ball. It just kind of rolls off. If you are going supersonic and the ball's still in your control, I find like side flips are pretty good. Just cutting under it a little bit. Or if it's still on top of your car, just, I don't know, I'm trying to scoop it a little bit. Those side flips can work, but as you can see, it's not great. You want to stay like somewhere where you have enough pace to generate power on the ball. Like if you're at a standstill, you're not going to generate too much power on your flick. But you don't want to be so fast that you lose control. And so it's just like messing around and finding those sweet spots for yourself. And there's not, that's kind of how all mechanics work. Like there's no simple quick trick to this stuff. You just have to mess around with the timings and figure out what works for you. And for flicks especially, like it's kind of finicky. The timing on your flip is really important, and you just have to get a feel for what works for you. So like, let's see. The delayed flick is really good. It's another thing you can practice. Delayed flick or fake flick, even fake jumps. So like, let's say I'm in a 1v1 here. That single jump might freeze the defender, and then I can control the ball and flick it over him to the crossbar. So those single jump pops are really nice to practice. You can combine that single jump pop with like a little bit movement on your left thumbstick just to make it look like you're going for a flick. Right? Like that looks like a 45-degree flick, but then I just go around him with the net. That's definitely really good in ones. In 1v1 you do get a lot of opportunities to kind of do these slow dribbles. I've heard Johnny Boy call them, where you like slowly control the ball, keep the ball on top of your car, you know, set up a flick, and then boom. But in 2s and 3s, that obviously is less of a thing. So what I would practice is getting the ball moving quickly, and then practice like controlling it. So like beat it to the wall, pop it over, fake cut, whatever. You can do a lot with the ball not on top of your car. You can get a soft touch into a hook shot. Like that's fast. That'll work in 2s and 3s, right? You can practice bounce dribbles. Bounce dribbles can be done pretty quickly, right? Like that could be set up in a single touch or two if you have a little bit of space. And since I brought up space, we're gonna talk about angles of attack with dribbling. So like when you're dribbling, in ones especially, but in all the game modes, you don't really want to be straight onto the net. So what I mean by that is like an angle like this is no good, because the ball is blocking our view of the opponent, so we can't see when the defender is going to challenge or if they're going to challenge. We don't know what they're doing. We don't have any information, and also our angles to shoot are kind of limited. Like we kind of just shoot a shot straight down the middle of the net and they're going to save it. Not to say that it never works, but it's harder to score from those angles, and again, more risky because you can't see the opponent. So what's way better would be like a dribble like this, where we're dribbling at an angle, because I could see the opponent that whole time, and I have more net to shoot at. Also, like down the line like this is really good. You can fake a shot, you know, basic stuff like that. Still works really, really well, even in like higher ranked games. So yeah, what else? I think power side super undervalued. You can practice it just by hitting the ball, going around it. That was fucking hideous. I should turn on unlimited boost. Yeah, so touch the ball, drive around it, cut under it. Just being able to like consistently turn cleanly around the ball, super helpful in all the game modes. So that might be like the warm up for that. But then, you know, to get good, or excuse me, to improve, you really have to like push yourself. With any mechanic, but especially with dribbling, I feel like it's easy to just like decide that you're good at dribbling and stop practicing it. But the key to improving is, like anything else in this game, you just keep making it harder and harder for yourself. Just practice like getting weird touches that the opponents can't read. Maybe like fake jump into a like power slide cut. You could practice taking it up the wall, going, but then instead of actually going for it, controlling it, right? Instead of going for that aerial play. That's a really good drill to practice. Also, you could just cut underneath it, or get on top of the ball rather. Set up an unsavable shot. So this is kind of a lot of information, but hopefully there's some nuggets in here that are helpful for people. I'm just going to continue to spew. Yeah, like I said, the fake flicks or like the fake jumps, they're something I use like all the time, and I find that once you get into the higher levels and ones, people are pretty competent at shadow defending, and so if you just like hit them with a normal flick, they'll save like anything, and they protect their backboard pretty well, as long as they have boost. But those little jumps or those little change ups, or like a little wave dash or whatever it is, it can really throw off people's timing. It can cause them to like kill their momentum, and then you hit them with the same flick, but this time they're starting with no momentum, so it just goes in. This is a really cool like first touch that I saw recently, and apparently Jack, one of his videos, where you can do it with Bacchus Mud, just roll the ball towards you. You basically just hit it and flip underneath it, and it's like a clean way to control it. And again, it could kind of mess up an opponent. A lot of dribbling is just getting touches that your opponents don't expect. So being able to like cut underneath the ball, change direction, change pace really quickly, that can score you goals, right? Like even nothing like advanced, but just being able to get touches that they don't expect. Super good. So that's what you can practice in free play. Because if you miss the ball completely, like it doesn't matter. I mean, in game it doesn't either, but in free play, like that's the time to try just super weird things. Like I'll mess up a ton doing this stuff too, but like I don't know. Practice like fake turn, cut. I dropped it there. I don't know. I can't freeze, but that's something I've been working on. So like, you know, those more advanced flicks that, you know, if I try to do this in a twos game and it didn't work, I could piss off my teammate, but free play or in ones, really good to go for some more advanced stuff. I find the fake musty actually super good. It's like, pretend you're going for it, but then you reset, you can shoot it. Not a good example. And like another benefit of getting really consistent with your flicks is that once you like demonstrate to your opponent that you can flick the ball well, they have to respect that. Sometimes they'll back off, or sometimes and give you too much space. Sometimes they'll like start challenging early and just give you really simple outplays. One of the most simple outplays that works really well even at the higher levels is just the fake flick into a low 50. Which I'm sure a lot of people know about, but if someone is challenging, you just drop the ball and single jump behind it, and they're going to go flying over it and score a lot of goals that way. And the last mechanic I'll talk about is the air dribble bump. It's super good. It's a big part of 1v1s, but it also really works well in 2v2. And the way to do this one is you just slow down the ball a little bit, and like get it fully settled on your car before you do the double jump and fly ahead of it. And one thing I found that's really helped me for practicing this is just starting them from farther away in free play. So instead of doing them like close to the net like I might in a game, I might go from behind the halfway line. That was a really bad one. But basically it's just, again, it makes it harder. Harder for me, and so I improve more from it. Yeah, that was a lot of spewing, so hope part of that was helpful. Sorry that this ended up being so long. I guess we'll just end it here and maybe play a little bit of the game without talking, just so you can see how I practice.